What is going on? Jason right here, and in this video I'm going to give you an introduction to conditional logic. What a beautiful thing. So just real quick, if you think about this, if here's our trigger in an automation, it's great to think that everybody coming in, right? Everybody coming in needs the same path. It's really easy for that way, but sometimes we need to tailor what we're sending people based on what they have or haven't done, right? So this is just a simple example of an automation where everybody that enters gets the same path, like the welcome series automation, like the lead magnet automation. But what if we have an automation like this, where let's say somebody clicks on a link in an email, and that link click is the trigger, right? That's what gets this automation going. We could have an email that goes out, right? We could have a condition that basically says, did the person go buy this thing or did they not? Maybe it's looking for a tag that indicates the buy. There's a fork in the road for the people that buy. Maybe it's time that they exit the automation. Okay. Maybe for the people who didn't buy, we wait, a day. I'll take it out of the whiteboard and go into ActiveCampaign, and maybe we email them again, right? See that? People expressed an interest, clicked a link for something, then as soon as they buy, we're done with it, and then we kind of repeat this process as we go down. So at a quick glance, that's kind of what conditional logic is. I can show you some simple examples of what this might look like and why it's helpful. So earlier we were looking at a welcome series automation. Actually, let me show you mine. My welcome series automation is going to be an interesting one here. It's a little bit more complex than most people's. Not bad, a little bit though. And let me see. Here we go. All right, so I'll walk you through mine. So once upon a time, mine was literally like I showed you in the previous video, right? So here's how it works now. When people flow into the welcome series list in my account, it will come down here and say, does the tag exist welcome or welcome 2.0? And what I do is at the end of this, I just add a tag so that I know they've been all the way through it. And my old welcome series had welcome and the new one has welcome 2.0. So if they've already been here or been in the old one, they kick over to the weekly and they leave. If not, the automation, just based on this little bit of conditional logic, knows they've never been through all this before, right? So they pop in here and they go through and then they get the tag, and then if they have an open deal, they'll go straight to the weekly, and if they do not have an open deal, they'll still go to the weekly and they'll get unsubscribed from the new leads list. Then they exit. So I built that out of need over time, but I will tell you right now, do not go nuts with conditional logic, right? You can go super, super nuts with it. All right, so if we build a little example here, let me just show you. I'm not going to build out a whole automation, but I want to show you what's possible. Okay, so say you have a trigger. Conditional logic's right here, conditions in workflow, if else, or if you like this, it's going to be conditions in workflow, if else. That's your conditional logic, okay? Now here's what's nuts. Look at all these different categories, and under each category there's all these different options, right, that you can use to create conditional logic. Like if somebody's city is Indianapolis, right? I'm just making stuff up here. And you can add an and or an or condition, right? So it could be like, or is their city, is that the right spot? I don't even know if I don't even think I'm in the right spot. Let's see, where the heck was it? Geography? Yeah. Or their city is Chicago. Like that could be your thing. Or it could be like, is the city Indianapolis and, do they have first name Jason? I'm just making up stuff. There is so many combinations of things you can do. And you can add additional, like you can say this is one set of complex conditions, and or here's more. Like you can get really crazy with it. And I in the past used to rescue clients that got themselves confused and helpless with like making automations too complicated, and some of the stuff I saw was just insane. So I will tell you, keep it as simple as possible, okay? But you can do some neat stuff, right? So let's do this little example. Let's run with this for a minute here. All right, is the city Indianapolis? Yes or no? And let's do another piece of conditional logic right underneath of it, just to kind of show you what's possible. And let's see, does the person have a tag client? Okay, tag exists. Oh, we're not in my account. We're in the sandbox. Okay, that's why. That's fine. All right. So let's say that you need somebody to run through both of these conditions. Okay, if you set this up like you think, and let's say you did something like this. Okay, I'm just showing you how when you start thinking about this stuff, how it can get really complicated. Let's say somebody comes into this pretend automation, and it says, do they match the condition, the city that they have listed in the CRM portion? Does it say Indianapolis? If they do, yes and exit. But what if we need to know if the people who say yes also have this, right? So that's not going to work in this format. So what you would do, this is something you can do with different things in conditional logic. You're going to grab this go to, and you're going to drag this over here. Okay, so do they have the city? So like maybe over here you add, you know, if they get the yes path, maybe they get a special tag for something. I don't know. Indianapolis. I'm in the Indianapolis area, by the way. Okay, so they can come over here and get that tag and still come over here. You know, maybe if they get this, they go to one list. You know, maybe they go to that list, and if they get the no path, maybe it, you know, you can remove tag or add a node or whatever. We could do something like this. If they go no, you could unsubscribe them from customers if they were there for some reason, and also subscribe them to prospects. Just making stuff up. So conditional logic is, I use it honestly as little as possible because it can get super complicated. I'm trying to think of an automation where I might have some more conditional logic. I really am minimally using this thing. And I'll explain why 2 videos from now. You'll understand why. So most people that I see use ActiveCampaign, they start getting pretty comfortable. They're like, man, I'm messing with conditional logic. Like, life's great. I'm a freak funnel builder. I'm doing all kinds of cool stuff. Here's some more simple conditional logic to show you an existing automation. This is a re-engagement. It gets triggered by this disengage tag, and it's saying, hey, are they in this list investors? If they are, we don't want to put them in. We kick them out. And if they're not, they'll go through a re-engagement automation, but there's something called a goal, which we're not going to talk about here. So conditional logics and goals are kind of cousins, kind of competitors of one another. But I've seen these get really complicated, and I don't want you to do that. I'm telling you, you want to keep it simple. It's better to make 2 small automations than 1 giant one. The reason why is if something's not working right, it's easier to see where the problem is with smaller automations. If you need to make changes, it's easier to do. There's just nothing but upside for it, okay? All right, hopefully conditional logic from a high level makes sense. It's the if-else. That's your conditional logic here, okay? All right, let me know. I guess don't let me know because you're watching a video and I'm not talking to you right now. If you have any questions, just play around with it a little bit. Check out some help docs, but trial and error and playing with it's the best thing to do. But you can really follow the logic just by saying, okay, they start here, so it's not real hard to do. Now, sometimes things don't work the way you think they will, and if you test your automations with like a sample contact, you will see that, okay? All right, I hope this is helpful for you and a little bit exciting because it can be cool. See you in the next video.